I mean, I know I love black and whatever. That don't make me a witch. But if I was a witch, I would want to be Sabrina. Because hers was so easy. One head move and then voila. Boom. New person. I love it. Alright, welcome back. I am using my Milk Primer. And I love this stuff because it gives you like a little sticky feel, but it also feels like a moisturizer. So I definitely apply it like it's a moisturizer. You're going to need a big fluffy brush because we're going to do a lot of buffing and a lot of blending. And this is the LA Girl palette. Now when you're doing this, make sure you dust off, tap off, or blow off the excess product, because if your brush is covered in it, then the color will come out darker than what you want. So the best thing you can do is start off light and then build. I like to take one eye and then move it to the other eye with just one dip inside of the makeup palette. And then I just go on with blending and buffing. Like the brows being different, I feel like the lids are a little different as well. Like you'll have more creasing in one lid, or you'll have more of a fold in that lid. I think they're two different lids, but you just gotta try and make them look like sisters. For those of you who expected an eyebrow tutorial, I decided to put that into a different video, so that video will be coming soon. This time I patted it because I only wanted a little bit to come off the brush, and I still wanted to see most of that color. So I just went in with a little pink, and I got the color that I was looking for. You are going to see a lot of resting girl face, which also comes off as mean looking. I'm not upset. I was happy doing this video. So never mind that facial expression. But I am blending this in. Now I went in with this more orangey tone brown, and I went into the crease. I wanted to just give a little bit dimension into the eye look that I did. Now I blew it off because I feel like it was going to come off too dark if I just took all of it and patted it into the crease. Plus I didn't want fallout to happen, and then I got to use a makeup wipe and clean off my face. So I have this Maybelline Fit Me Dewy, and I haven't used it in a while. So I'm like, you know what? I keep using my makeup to sit in the house, and I'm like, I need to use my drugstore because that's easier to replace rather than my Fenty. So as you can see, I'm acting like I am taking shots with my foundation, but this helps me to put an even amount if I put it on the parts that I know that needs the coverage. Now I'm going to use my Morphe Jeffree Star sponge, and I'm going to blend it with the bigger side. This sponge is freshly washed, so I try to squeeze out as much as I can. And I'm leaving this in because I want to show you guys how I do it. I dab, and that's how I blend my makeup. I dab. I don't drag it because I feel like dragging your makeup is how it get caught inside of the sponge, and then you don't get to use any of the product. So you dab, and then you get to see the product that you use, and you don't have to go in again. So I'm using these NARS concealer. It's Radiant Creamy. Everything I'm using pretty much is dewy, creamy. I love all of that. I wouldn't say my skin is dry, but I wouldn't say it's oily. So, combination, I guess. Whatever. But I like the Radiant because when you want to do your powder, you're not over drying your skin out. My thing is, I like to look moisturized. I realize that this technique fits my face the best. If I do not bring the concealer all the way near my ears like I used to, my face stays looking slim. The wider you make the concealer underneath your eye, the wider your cheeks are going to look. So I try to stay right underneath my eyes so that my face don't look wide. I realized that I love this concealer because it blends with almost all of the foundations I've tried. Most concealers will get patchy and then it will look real funny, but I realized NARS does not do this. The longer you let your concealer sit on your face, the more highlight you would get. So try to let it sit for a few seconds. Now I'm contouring and I realize this will help my cheeks stand out more so it look like I have a better cheekbone. If you do plan on trying this step, make sure it is coming like from where your ear is. I feel like you will know by looking in the mirror the shape of your own face, but don't place it where I placed it just because I placed it there. You have to pay attention to your own natural contours in your face for you to be able to get yours right. I don't make it too much wider than the line that I first started with. So I just try to blend upward because if I go down, it's not going to look right. Okay, so this has become like my favorite step because my jawline, okay, jawline is popping after I do this step. So the thing is, you just gotta make sure you keep blending it out, and it has to be the perfect tone too, because it's like if it's too dark, it's not gonna show. If it's too light, it's gonna be a whole big, large white cast. You don't want that as well. But I just love how this shows on my face. So I'm just going to keep blending it out in a downward motion and then to the side, and I bring it closer to my chin. All right, so because I barely have a bridge, it's kind of like flat on my face. I try to use this and I create the illusion of a bridge. And I'm tapping it on my hand so I can get most of the product off because I don't want it to be harsh on my face. So here we go. We are going to powder. So now what I do is I tap some in the top, and then I start working my magic to what fits my face. And yes, it does smell good. It smells great. My sponge is used for powder and it's dry. I realize a dry sponge is best for doing under the eye. Now, for baking, I do not leave it on long because I'm going to turn into a ghost if I did. And I highlight the areas that I put the concealer. And then I have to do the forehead because I will get a little oily after a few hours. So anywhere I put the concealer, that's where I'm putting it. And I try to do this straight line because it'll highlight the bridge even more. So that's why I did it like that near my nose. And I'm just using this Morphe brush to wipe it off because I don't want it to sit too long because I don't want it to be too bright or to look over drying. This step is very important because this is how you make your jawline pop. Like, I love my jawline, so I definitely want it to stand out. And this definitely helps with doing that. So as you can see, I did this step differently from the concealer like I did before when I just did the top half of my face and then I did the jawline on its own. Now, putting extra powder on your nose at the end is going to help because it grabs on to your highlight, okay? It grabs onto your highlight. So that's why I put powder there again. And I like to let it sit because the longer it sits there, somehow it just grabs up the highlight. So that's why I have it there. I am dancing because I love this stuff. I love the undertone. When I put it on my face, it gives out like a little peachy type kind of color. It is my favorite. NARS did their thing. This is Torrid. And I don't go ham, but I do stay in the areas that I'm supposed to be in. I do not like it in the front on my cheeks. I already look young. I like to put it there to look sun-kissed. So that's where I keep it. I do not come in the front of my face putting pink all over. So I just keep it in those areas. And we are looking good already, right? So now what we have to do is dust off this excess. And I am going to spray this face and I'm going to give it life. And my thing is, I like to do this twice when I'm doing my makeup. The first time I want to do it all without having any liners on. No liners on my lip, no liner on my eyes, no excess, anything that can leak and ruin what I did so far. Alright, so now is where I kind of drench myself, but not really drench myself. I don't like my face to feel too wet. Don't want to feel like I ran through a sprinkler. But if you have any mirrors or anything around, move it because it will mess your mirror up. So I had put on my eyeliner, my lashes, and my lip liner off camera to try and save time. But I'm going to use both of these colors. But I'm going to start off with the first one, the one that's barely used, and then I'm going to use the other one that has already hit the pan. So I'm just highlighting where I put the concealer at. Like I was explaining earlier, everything is just going to be sticking on and it's going to be shining as much as it needs to shine. I don't do too much, but it is enough. Okay, now this is the final spray, And I'm trying to make sure that I get all my powders and everything set, because when I hug somebody, I don't want to get all of my face on their shirts or anything. So this is how I do it. I set my face twice. The first time just for moisture, the second time is to actually set it. So I let that dry, and then I go in with my mascara, and this is by Milani. And listen, once you do your bottom lashes, life has changed. I don't ever do the top because I have the falsies there and I don't want to ruin them. So I'm doing the bottom. Now my camera was hating, didn't want to focus, but it got itself together after a while. When I like something, I love it. And this is the Dior lip oil. Look at it. Look, like, woo. Y'all see that? It is juicy. I love how thick it is on my lips. And I have lip liner, so I try to go around it, and then it'll just keep blending. Now the line at the bottom of my lip, it's going to be there for a while, but the more talking and the finishing, getting ready, the line starts to lighten up. So that's why I didn't bother it. And woo, we're cute. Okay, next step. This here, I paid a lot of money for it, but I love this product because it does its thing. Let me tell you. Well, let me show you, because I'm going to show you guys how fast it gets hot. When I say you get your hair done, you're in and you're out, it is perfect. It takes less than 1 minute for it to get up to the heat that I need it to be at. I'm going to show you guys on camera. Once this camera focus, you guys are going to see what I'm talking about. Okay? And as you can see, my eyelash glue is still drying. I'm being all extra because it already went to 360. So that's why I'm making all these faces. So I use a comb, I use a brush, and I use these two hairsprays. And the first one I'm going to put in my hair is an oil sheen by Wen. It is for your hair and your body. And it smells really good. And the comb and the brush, I've shown that already. This is the wet brush. I like to use it on my natural wet hair. Lovely. I love this thing. So this brush, I'm starting to use it just everywhere I can. And then I just take the comb and I make sure each parts are separated correctly. And let's just get into it. And that is the final look. Thank you for watching, guys. Do not forget to hit the subscribe, comment, share, and like this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.